Hello, everybody. Welcome to your Mentor Monday. Today is October 3rd, and wow, beginning of the month. This is going to be a good one. It's our convention month. So we're going to be seeing lots of us in Utah, and it is so exciting to go back and see our For Life family, get to see the new products. Just an exciting time. But today, Mentor Monday is supercharged, so I'm not going to waste even one more second. I'm going to introduce our mentor and our leader, our upline platinum, Dave Daughtrey, because the topic for today that we have chosen as a theme and topic for the month, the leader in you, is jam-packed with so much teaching. So welcome everybody from east to west, north to south. I give you your leader, Dave Daughtrey.
Thank you, Claudia, and thank you everyone again for taking the time to join us today. Get the message out, let people know that we're on our Mentor Monday call, and invite. Get as many people to come to these. This is an opportunity for me and Gabby, my wife, to share with everyone not only our experiences, but our coaching, our teaching, the things that we've learned throughout, in my case, 41 years of this business. I'm going on 42 years now that I will have been involved in network marketing, and the industry has evolved in many ways. It's changed, but obviously life is full of changes. I mean, life is all about change, and so when I first joined in 1981, it was getting people to a hotel meeting, or maybe doing a napkin presentation, we called it. The napkin presentation was where you meet someone at a little coffee shop or a little restaurant. My favorite office was Denny's. We've got these, they're called Denny's. Do you have Denny's up in Canada, Claudia? But
yeah, we do.
Okay, so they're just like little coffee shops, little restaurants. And in the back, there's usually a little room or little space, and I'd meet someone and do a napkin presentation. And networking back then, you really had to work very hard, to get yourself in front of people. But the difference was that I've noticed is that when you meet people face to face and you're with them and you're present there and you have their undivided attention, whereas when a lot of these Zooms and even WhatsApp calls and so forth, you don't have any idea what people are doing. I apologize for the noise there. You don't have any idea what people are doing. And so when you're present with someone, you can focus. You can focus on that one person. You can focus on their needs and so forth. So anyhow, what I'm saying is that the industry's evolved, and I think it's really important for all of us as leaders. And I'm talking to all of you as leaders. That's why you're here today. In fact, today's whole focus is called the leader in you, in Spanish, líder en ti. Everyone has the potential, we'll talk about this in a second, potential to become as great as they want to be, and part of this in evolving and learning and growing is using the tools that become available, whether it's YouTube or Facebook or Instagram, and using them, but not just depending on any one individual tool, being a bit of a rainbow where you can use all of these different tools to your advantage, because they all have a place. Like right now, I couldn't have done this even back in the early days of For Life. There was no such thing as Zoom. The internet was just getting started in 1998. And I'll bet most of you really probably didn't even have internet in 1998 when I started. And so now what a great tool this is to basically share information and to teach and coach and inspire and mentor and motivate, and influence people. But this is not the end all be all tool. So I want to go back in time when I first joined this industry of network marketing and talk a little bit first, before we get into leadership. I want to talk about following. If you want to be a good leader, you need to begin being a good follower. And this isn't about who's above someone else or any particular pecking order or anything like that. It has nothing to do with that. You can be the greatest networker in the world, but when you join For Life, you still have to go through the process of learning You have to go through the process of knowing how to present the plan, how to present For Life, how to present transfer factor, how to present the pay plan. Now, in my case, when I joined For Life, I had to move very fast from being a follower to being a presenter, being a leader, simply because back in 1998, when I joined For Life, excuse me, there weren't any international diamonds or bronzes. I think there was a presidential at the time, and that's about it. So everyone was just kind of beginning. So someone had to step into that role. And so, but when I first joined this industry, I had wonderful mentors, wonderful teachers that taught me all about this process of beginning your business. And I honestly have to say that most of the big growth steps or growth spurts I had in this business happened because of things I was kind of forced to do, not necessarily because I raised my hand and said, "Oh, I'll stand up and do the presentation next week." I was pretty much forced to do it because the presenter didn't show up, you see. And so I had to present. I had to take on that role. And so in my involvement of learning networking and learning about leadership, I had to begin by being a good follower. So I would like to encourage all of you, and even myself. I have people I listen to on a regular basis, but we all need to have someone that or something that we listen to on a regular basis. It could be maybe you jump on. I love YouTube. YouTube's my favorite, and I jump on there and I listen to different people, even people that have been involved in other companies in network marketing that are just on there saying things, and I learn from them. And what I learn mostly really is I learn a lot of different philosophies, a lot of one-liners, because if I'm going to be coaching and teaching and inspiring and mentoring people, I also want to be able to provide fresh content, something. Now, I understand this is a very repetitive business. We repeat over and over and over and over and over again. It's what we do. We present For Life, we present our products, we present this business model, the concept of joining a family, joining a team here at For Life, and people have an opportunity to change their lives. But as I've moved along through my career, I continue to learn new things. And we all have our moments in the daytime, I believe as well, where we mostly absorb stuff. For me, it's in the morning. In the morning when I'm getting ready for the day, it's a great time for me to start brainstorming and thinking about things that have to do with growth, whether in whatever theme I might be talking about this week or this month, leadership, or maybe it's even about presenting For Life, thinking about how I'm going to present, what particular topic or area I'm going to be talking about. And so one of the things that has kind of hit me a little bit lately, I want to share with you. I think we all have these moments where we think about something and our creative juices start flowing, is, For Life has paid my organization well over $2 billion now. That's a lot of money, $2 billion, not a million, $2 billion. And there's some months where For Life has paid my organization well over $1 million a day. Now think about that, $1 million a day paying my team, my people. So that's over $30 million in a month. Now, that doesn't all go to me. It gets cut up. It's like a big pie, all right, or a big cake. Somebody gets a big piece of cake. I got people that get a $300,000 piece of cake. And I got some people that get a $300 piece of cake. You see? Well, what's the difference? What's the difference between a person who gets a $300,000 piece of cake and someone that gets a $300 piece of cake or a $100 piece of cake? We're all the same. No one is any different than anybody else, really. Now, they might have done different things, all right? They might have maybe been bolder. They might have basically taken on maybe a leadership role, sooner than later. But the reality is the process is the same for everybody. The process is you sign up in For Life, you start talking to people. Some people have bigger circles of influence than others. But the reality is your circle of influence really is the people you've associated with throughout the years of your life, you see. And I try to teach people to move up the food chain. Like I've been talking a lot lately about Viola Davis and the Woman King. Has anybody seen the Woman King? All these actors are using our products. I didn't know these people before. I met them because I kind of moved up in society a little bit and associate now with people that, they're no different than me when you think about it, or different. They're no different than you. Some of them are musicians, some of them are actors, and yeah, they're famous, but they're no different than any of us. And so I think that many times we hold ourselves back. All right. So we all start out as followers. All right. You need to be a follower, but don't be afraid to step into a leadership role. The one thing I love about this business is that everyone gets to decide not only, how big of a piece of cake that they want, but when do they want it? You see, let's analyze for a second, all of you. I haven't had a job of employment. I've not had employment since I was 16 years old. So my entire life I've been self-employed. I learned to employ myself. But most people that are on this call have probably had employment at some time in their life. And maybe some of you do now. I ask you a question. Do you get to choose how big of a piece of the cake that you want from your company? And do you get to choose when you want it? Can you go to your boss or the owner of the company you might work for and say, you know what? I want a bigger piece of the cake and I want it now. No, you can't do that, you see. But with this opportunity, you can. Now, I don't understand that you don't get it right now, but you're going to get it a heck of a lot quicker than you are working a traditional job, you see, because you're the one that dictates, you're the one that decides how you're going to move up the pay plan, move up to becoming an associate by sponsoring that very first person. And then you sponsor 3 people. And now you become a builder. And now you go for the builder bonus. And now all of a sudden you become a diamond. All right. Now you can become a diamond really by just selling products. And I there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's wonderful. Get out there and expose people to For Life, expose them to the brand, but at the same time, expose them to the opportunity. Now the leadership comes in where you really can't get to presidential diamond without making that decision that you want to become a leader. You want to become someone that starts teaching others, mentoring others, guiding others, inspiring others. And I think sometimes we hold ourselves back. I did. And when I was first in network marketing, I never really saw myself as a leader. And it was my mentor, I had more than one mentor, my mentors, plural, that actually saw the potential in me. So they brought out that potential. And that's something that all of us that are presidential diamonds and above, or even if you're a diamond and above, you need to bring out the leader in the people that are in your organization and even in yourself, but especially look at your downline, identify those people, you look at their potential. All right. Everyone has tremendous potential. We're the only animals on the planet that have an opportunity to analyze ourselves, and we create and decide to what level we are going to use our potential. A tree can't do that. A dog can't do that. My baby boy Odin, he can't do that. My dog. All right. We can as people. And many times we hold ourselves back, you see. So that's one thing I love about this business, is that there's always someone that you can associate yourself with that will help you reach deep down and find that potential that you have to start leading others, inspiring others, and also be not only willing to adapt, but prepared to adapt for change. You see, you cannot move up in this business. You cannot move up in For Life to presidential diamond, and then bronze international diamond, and then gold and platinum without going through some changes. All right. You become a great leader, you see, and you become an influencer, an inspirer, and a persuader of others to get involved and do this. Now, let's talk about luck for a second. Because sometimes, and this is another thing I love about this business, I don't like to call it luck. All right. It's kind of like lightning. All right. People have been hit by lightning. I actually got hit by static lightning once. I was climbing Kings Peak in Utah, the highest point in Utah called Kings Peak. I was a teenager climbing it, and I got hit by static lightning. All right. Hit the top of the mountain. I happen to be close by. So the higher you go, the chances are you might get hit by lightning. All right. And sometimes it makes me think about, I don't know if you ever saw the movie Benjamin Button, The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. That guy in there that says, did I ever tell you about the time I got hit by lightning? And I think it shows like 5 or 6 times in the movie, he gets hit by lightning. All right. Look, in this business, right, there isn't, I call it the element of mystery. Everyone has a sponsor. Everyone has a sponsor. When you look at someone that's making big money, they have a sponsor. All right. Now, sometimes the sponsor ends up only having one leg. All right. That person that they happen to sponsor, and it becomes life-changing. It changes their life. They go from, all of a sudden, making a wage, let's say an average wage, to making $20, $30, $40,000 a month of income because of this business. But the beauty about this business and why it's not a pyramid is that the harder you work, the luckier you get. I'll say that again. The harder you work, the luckier you get. Meaning that if you keep on climbing, yeah, lightning may hit again and again and again. All right. And you become one of those people that ends up having 2, 3, 4, 5 great leaders that you have brought into this business, and they started their business. And because of you, you were the messenger. You were the one that brought this to them. You were the one that inspired them, motivated them, influenced them, and maybe even persuaded them to come and take a look and get involved in this business, you see? So I do love the element of mystery that there is. Every time any of us talk to a new prospect, you have no idea what's going to happen. You have no idea if they're going to become a consumer. Nothing may happen, but you plant a seed. The more seeds we all plant out there in the world, the greater chances there are that someone's going to harvest that. Hopefully you get to harvest it because you planted it. But trust me, we're all going to plant seeds that other people will harvest. That's just the way it works. Timing is everything. Just because you talk to someone doesn't mean it's their time that they want to get in and build a big business. Someone else may talk to them. The average person has to listen to something 3 or 4 times before they finally make a move and do something. Okay. So again, being a good leader means you understand this process as well. Being a good leader means you understand the importance of the people that you're working with, your downline, keeping them involved, keeping them engaged, keeping them going and growing. That's one thing I say a lot. I say, keep going, keep growing. Because again, the difference between someone who has a big piece of cake in this business and someone who has a little piece of cake is the person who has the big piece of cake kept on going. Doesn't mean that they made it to the top first. I know people that were way, they were nowhere near becoming the first platinum in For Life. They're probably close to the last platinum, and yet they make a lot of money. You see, people can, honestly, I honestly feel that the biggest income earner in For Life hasn't even joined yet. Honestly, we're relatively a company that's young in the sense that on a global scale of doing, what are we doing? A little over $500 million, on an annual basis. Well, on a global scale, that's nothing, especially when you divide it up into many, many countries. So leadership, again, a good leader learns how to work with people. A good leader understands that if you want to grow your business, you grow yourself and you help grow your people. A good leader understands that involvement creates commitment. The people that taught me when I was first joining this industry, Jim Rohn, one of my very first people that I met that spoke to me and mentored me, told me, he said, young man, attend every meeting, every event that you can, because some will be life-changing. Some of these events, you don't know which ones they are. And he was true, he's right. I've gone to events before that I thought were going to be just, much of nothing. And I got there and someone happened to say something that sparked me. It was a testimony sometimes, maybe it was the presentation, maybe there's a guest that came in and talked for a few minutes and said something, and that sparked something. All right. I think that happens to all of us. Okay. But at the same time, you need to be the spark. You need to be the one that inspires others. Okay. So, how do we inspire others? Actions speak louder than words. You can't expect your people or your organization to do something that you're not willing to do. So if we talk about prospecting, we want to grow a business, we need to be doing that as well. We need to be out sharing the message. All right. When we think about it, right on this call here, everyone that's on here, if everybody gave just 2 presentations this week, just 2, we'd have 66 new people that hear about For Life. You see, if everyone gave 3, it'd be 99. And if you gave 4, it'd be what, 120, 130 something. Okay. My point is that you can't expect, or you can't ask your downline or your team to do something that you're not willing to do. So first, lead by example. Be a good example. How do you be a good example? You're on the calls, but at the same time, what are you doing in between the calls? All right. It's one thing to get just on a Zoom call. Between these Zoom calls, you're working your list. You're constantly looking for new people. And once you have some people, this is where the real leadership comes in. You now start working with them. Do not sit back and cross your fingers and say, I hope that they go do something. I hear all the time, my downline's not doing anything. Okay. Well, if they're not doing anything, one, have they been asked? Have they been actually, has anyone spent time with them and said, let's put a plan together? People I don't know. I have to talk to people. This is word of mouth advertising. It's networking. I want to build my network, and I would hope to do it with you. I want to do it with you. But if you're not going to open your door and share with me your people that I can't read your mind. Therefore, I have to go find someone else. So me personally, I try quickly as a good leader to get in to the person I've sponsored, get in to their circle of people that they know and start presenting to them. And the reason I love to do that as quickly as possible is because it does a couple of things. One, it's duplicatable. The person I sponsored, they see me presenting now. I don't do it for them. All right. Now, I'm not saying every now and then I will make a call. Someone was like if I have someone I sponsored and they're at their job or they're doing something else, and they say, Dave, can you make a quick call? I talked to this person. Can you just call and give them a testimony or just inspire them? Sure, I do that all the time. But when it comes to presenting to someone, first exposure where they're going to hear about it for the very first time, I don't want to make calls for people. In the beginning, though, I had to because I had people that just weren't willing to do it. And I did do it. I'd call people and say, hey, Mary gave me your phone number, and I know what they're thinking. Well, why didn't Mary tell me about this? So I try as quickly as possible to get with this person and say, look, you just get them to come to the table. I will do the presentation. Your people, my presentation. That's my way of building. And I love that way of building because it does a couple of things. One, the person who I've sponsored that's inviting their guests, they get to hear me do a little presentation. I talk about For Life, the company. I talk about transfer factor products, and I talk about this business model. Now, today, I do mix in a few other things like, the world we live in today, all the disasters going on, the recession going on, and just how difficult things are these days. And what options do people really have? I want to just give you an option and show you the beauty of this option. And then I get into telling them about For Life, transfer factor, health and wellness industry, $4.2 trillion industry. And so the person who's listening, the person I sponsored, is watching me do this. And I know they're learning. All right, because they're there, they're present at that time. I love the one-on-one, or I should say one-on-two presentations, or two-on-one, it's really two-on-one, where it's me, the person that I've sponsored, and Anderson and I have done this a lot, where Anderson has, a guest, and it's me and Anderson just having a conversation with them. just talking with them about, this option that they can have in their life to build this business. All right. And then the new person who's learning, I know that they're getting a good presentation because I'm giving the presentation and I've done it for quite a long time. You see, that's duplicatable to me. Now, in fact, I'll ask Anderson. Anderson, if you can unmute yourself real quick. Anderson, I sponsored you into For Life a couple of years ago. Do you give presentations now without me?
Yes, I give more presentations, like 10 presentations by day with my persons.
Wonderful. Anderson's learning English, by the way. He's from Brazil, everybody. So we got to give Anderson an applause. He's getting on the Spanish calls, the English calls, the Portuguese calls, because again, and that's good leadership. He wants to learn English so he can also come up to the US and work For Life up here, live up here with his family, build his business up here. That's what's so wonderful about this business, is that when you have a dream, you can achieve that dream. People do it all the time, except Anderson gets to make the decisions. You see, he gets to choose to do this. So the point I want to make, though, is that when Anderson and I first started together, I was doing a lot of the presenting. Anderson does his own presentations. Anderson does not need me, honestly. I kind of come in for reinforcements. He uses me pretty much because he's got people he's talked to, but it's like, let me share with you my sponsor. Let me share with you my upline, Dave. And I come in and I share my story. My story is really just like a third party testimony. This again is good leadership. A third party testimony is powerful. So when you sponsor someone and they come into For, and I see you guys in Kenya do this a lot, which I have to applaud you. All right. And I even see it happening now in South Africa more and more as well. When someone new joins, everyone applauds and says, hey, it's kind of like ringing the bell. Ding, 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 ding. We got a new member of the For Life Kenya family. And even if it's cross-line, people are applauding and saying, welcome to For Life. Okay. Well, this third party testimony where if you got someone, you're working on getting them in For Life and you need just to give them a push, they're on the fence. And I look at it this way, and this is what my mentor taught me. He said, look, sometimes you got to bring in that extra person to kick them, to give them a kick them off the fence. Now, we don't know which way they're going to fall. They might fall yes, they might fall no, but you've got to kick them because they're sitting on the fence. So let's kick them. That's where you bring in your upline. Again, leadership. Be prepared and encourage your downline to bring you in to give that testimony, or maybe even to participate in a presentation. Always be prepared to do that. And so now you're going to be spending your time doing multiple things in your business. And this is how you stay busy. And even some of my top leaders I have, there have been a couple of them that have come out to San Diego and said, oh, Dave, in fact, I'll never forget one. Herminio Nevares contacted me one time. This goes, back in probably 2004, 2005. He said that he had a prospect in Tijuana. He wanted to come and visit. Now, Tijuana is in Mexico. It's about, from where I live now, probably about maybe 30 minutes. But where I was living before, it was probably about an hour and a half drive. And he flew into San Diego. I met him at the airport, and we went together to go meet this lady that lived in Tijuana. And she was a networker. She'd been in network marketing, and he really wanted to get her in the business. I went. Herminio didn't need me to present. He knows how to present. But I gave my testimony, that third party testimony, and we got her in the business. All right. So I've had people come into town and use me for that. If any of you are in San Diego and you've got a prospect here, you hit me up, man. We'll go together. We'll take them to lunch. We'll sit down and we'll talk to them. That's what you do in this business. Okay. And that's what makes this business so wonderful. So good leadership. You begin as a follower. You learn as soon as you can to start delivering the message. Maybe you do it with the person, your upline, or with the team you're working with, whether you're in Kenya, South Africa, you're on a Zoom with us. I know we have people here that are from our Spanish Zooms that are joining us as well now. they get in and they share their testimony. They share part of the presentation. So you participate with your sponsor, with your upline, strength in numbers. All right. But also you have to prepare yourself to be out presenting to people, talking to people yourself, at least scouting. And then when you have someone, you bring in reinforcements, you bring in your upline, you bring in your sponsor, you bring in a team member if necessary, to just, even if it's for 2 minutes or 3 minutes, to share how they feel about For Life. Encourage that person, that new person that's looking. All right. But then you yourself need to adopt or adapt into that role as quickly as possible, where you're now doing the same thing with your people. Okay. A good leader is also understands the importance of constant growing, constant learning, constant developing. And so you're doing that as well. It's an evolution, it's a process. You don't work your way up to becoming bronzes and golds and platinums just by simply, selling bottles of transfer factor. Yes, we want everyone in the world to use our product, but there's also an element of this business, which is the nurturing, the developing of people, the growing of people. And so, you want to move into that area as quickly as possible, where you're growing yourself, but you're also growing your people. And how do you do that? Getting on these calls. That's one way. Learning. But again, spend 5 to 10 minutes every day listening to someone that inspires you, that mentors you, or read a book. I personally, book reading for me, I prefer audiobooks. I like to listen to audiobooks myself, but I find just YouTube is such a great place to get content and to learn new things. Go to YouTube, listen to others, And so again, and I'll open it up here in a minute to see if there's any questions. And I want, if Gabby's with us, if she wants to share a word today. There's Gabby, I see Gabby. Again, understand that with leadership, there is also a process. You can be a good leader outside of For Life and bring those skills into For Life, but you still have to learn the For Life vernacular, if you will, the For Life way. In other words, understanding what our products are, understanding the company. And there are people that do that. They've got great leadership skills. Dr. Ojina is one, came into For Life and brought all those skills with him from the medical field, being a doctor, then from his previous experiences in network marketing. And there are people out there that you will bring into For Life. You'll sponsor them, and they're, experienced networkers that are looking for a good company. They're looking for great products to represent, a good pay plan that pays them well. And one of you happens to be the lucky one, if you want to say that, but the harder you work, the luckier you get, that talks to them and brings them into the business, you see? But they too have to go through all of the processes to learn to become a good For Life networker. To learn how to talk about our products, talk about our company, talk about our pay plan, all the things that we do in the For Life world. And so, I look at our organization that Gabby and I have now, and I have to admit, there are times where I just wonder. I tell myself, how did it happen? How did we end up with 2 million people have joined so far? And then it'll be 2.5 and 3 million and 4 million and so on. And it all goes back to 1998, when it was just me, myself, and I. 3, me, myself, and I. That was the team, you see. Gabby had a full-time job. So I've spent my time just on the phone, developing relationships, talking to people, and getting my onion check. You peel it open and you cry because this is so little, but that's how it begins. Today, everyone has so much more resources. They've got phone apps, they've got websites, you've got these Zoom calls, presentations going on all the time. There's a plethora of things going on that you can even get lost in. You can spend every day, all day, just getting on Zoom calls. I encourage you not to do that, honestly. Get on the ones you need to be on, participate in the ones that are real important. But what's most important, you guys, what's most important is what's going on between the Zoom calls. When we finish this call, I've got another one in Spanish here in 2 hours. I'll be doing this in Spanish, you see. What's going on in those 2 hours? Now, Claudia and I actually have a call right after this together, but I'm communicating with my people. Tomorrow, Anderson, you and I, we've got 2 hours together where we're talking with people, so that's how this business works. Have a schedule. I use, by the way, I use Google Calendar. I like to use Google Calendar. My calendar's always got stuff going on, you see. Now, back in the early days, you know what my calendar said? Call people, call people, call people. And the next day, call people, call people. Now, as I called people, I found people that were interested. And, and I'll be honest with you guys, it was a lot of work, but was it worth it? Heck yeah, of course it was worth it. This is the greatest business in the world. I started like anybody else. I didn't bring in a whole bunch of leaders. I just started calling people, and one led to there. But I adopted a leadership role as quickly as possible. And all the people that I did bring in the beginning, I'd say, look, who do you know that I don't know? Can I talk to them, please? Or at least give me a referral? Just tell me. I mean, I'll be the one to talk. I'll do the presentation if you just, introduce me to them. And some did it, some didn't, but the ones that did are the ones I worked with. And that led to a new person, led to a new person. And pretty soon, after, I'd say probably 6 months or so, my time started to shift. Things started to change from me scouting new people. All of a sudden, I was talking to my people's people a lot. And then it became more and more and more. So my personal scouting started to decline a little bit. Now, I love scouting, by the way. I love prospecting. I think it's fun. I think people take it too seriously sometimes. Challenge yourself. And I would like to ask you, this again is good leadership. Challenge yourself. Challenge yourself to talk to a new person. Even if it's one new person this week, muster up, the strength or the boldness, whatever you want to call it, to open up and talk to someone, start a new relationship, a new friendship with someone, gain the friendship of someone new this week. Everybody. All right. And I didn't say sponsor them this week. All right. I said gain their friendship this week. Sponsoring sometimes happens the same day, but many times it takes a bit longer. And again, you've all heard Dr. Ogina talk about this one, where I met Dr. Ogina, and I'll never forget his words. It was him that was talking to a group of people when he said, you must, in your lifetime, you must, Dr. Ogina, I can't believe it, that you must aspire to inspire before you expire. The word I was looking for was aspire. You must aspire to inspire before you expire. And when Dr. Ogina said those three words a few years back, I thought that's incredible. That's awesome. You think about it, really, how many people really aspire to inspire others before they expire? Okay. How many people do we inspire on a regular basis, on a daily basis? So all of us need to get out there and make a new friendship and inspire somebody. Inspire them to come and take a look at our For Life family. Inspire them to come and learn about our incredible products. Inspire them to take a chance to make a change in life. All right. They can be, they've got potential. Everyone's got potential. Inspire them to dig deep and recognize their own potential. All right. And that's good leadership as well. All of us, every single one of us has the ability to be awesome leaders and to educate and mentor and motivate and inspire others, mentor others, right, in order to grow and develop your business by doing this with others, developing others. In the end, I want to say this. I've said all the time that, I learned in the early days of networking, I don't necessarily move products. I move people. And when I say that, I don't want people to misunderstand me, because obviously my network consumes a lot of For Life products every month. We're all consumers. We all consume. But my focus is always about moving people, because the more people that I move, the more people that we move, all right, that get involved and they embrace this concept of consuming our wonderful products, whatever product it might be. It could be Flex for Life. It could be prebiotics. It could be Rio Vita. It could be Transfer Factor Plus. It could be Right Start. Any of the products, you see, they'll decide what products they want. But I want them to understand this concept of joining the 4Life family, using our incredible products, which is really a minimal amount every month, for you. And even if you use it for your family, it ends up being more than 100 life points. But consuming our products and inviting others to do the same. Be part of the 4Life family, be part of the team. All right. So with that, I just want to say that, I'm very proud of everyone. You guys always join me here on Mentor Mondays. And I feel very blessed to have an opportunity to share some of my teachings, what I've learned growing up. Please understand that the things that I share, very, very, very few things you hear come out of my mouth, I invented. I learned it from someone else. I listened it to someone else, and I got comfortable copying it. I made it mine. I owned it, and one of the things I have to say that many people have said it, throughout the years, but it's one that I kind of just myself learned through the years and have always said it: declare yourself. Declare yourself. Don't be afraid to declare yourself. What do you want? All right. Where do you want to go? When do you want to get there? When do you want to become a bronze, a gold, or a platinum? Those may be your long-term, you want to do it, your long-term goal. Okay. But to get to that long-term goal, what do you have to do on a daily basis? What do you need to do on a weekly basis, a monthly basis to hit that goal? Because you can't just go from one day to the next and be a bronze or even a presidential diamond. All right. You have to adapt into these roles. You start out by talking to people, maybe selling some products. Then all of a sudden you've got a few people have got in your business, you become a diamond. Now you identify someone in your downline, they too want to be a diamond, and you work with them. So now you're spending a lot of your time with one of the people on your team, and you're prospecting some new people yourself. I get this all the time, by the way. People say, well, Dave, all of a sudden it just stopped growing. Why did it stop growing? It stopped growing because people have literally stopped talking to new people. And someone has to get out and do that. And if you have to lead by example, the best thing you can do to inspire someone, get out and start a new baby distributor. Start working with them. All right. And then people see you all of a sudden. It's like they expect you almost sometimes to fail. I know I'm getting off on a tangent now, but sometimes people expect you to fail because if they're not doing anything, well, if we're not doing anything, you're not going to do anything. Heck no. If you're not doing anything, I'm still going to do something. That's what differentiates or makes different someone that is at the top of the food chain or top of the pay plan and someone who's not. They're willing to do what others are not willing to do. So let's all do that. Let's all inspire. Let's get out there. Let's talk to people and keep on scouting, keep going and keep growing. That's what this business is all about. If we have anybody that's new on the call today, or you've just joined, 4Life recently, I want to say this: Mentor Mondays are not about presenting the 4Life opportunity. So if you're new, get with the person who did talk to you about this and get a really good presentation, learn about 4Life, who we are, learn about our incredible products, life-changing products, and learn how you can change your life financially by learning this system of networking. It's a system where just through your own effort, your own energy, you can build a business. I tell people all the time, I don't want your money. I don't want you to invest a bunch of money. What I want you to invest is time, energy, and the people that that are probably right in your cell phone. Let's talk to them. Let's bring them to the table. That is simple and it is duplicable. Sometimes we say duplicatable, but the real word is duplicable. Anyhow, with that, I want to open up. Does anybody have anything they would like to say or to share? I'd like to also turn it over to Gabby, have her share a few words with us, sweetie. So if you don't mind, and then you guys, if you have any questions about anything, the development of your business, leadership, anything, please let me know. I love questions and I learn as well when people do ask me questions. It makes me dig deep over my 41 years of doing this into the archives of information. But I'll turn it over to my beautiful wife, Gabriella. Sweetie.
Okay, we still, thank you, sweetie. Good presentation. We still want to know if you have questions, because this is a good time to ask, okay? I have known Dave, gosh, over 20 years. And, you know, I never get bored of his presentations. And, you know, he's very knowledgeable in network marketing. And I'm just saying, you know, if you have questions, ask them. This is what the Zoom call is all about. So what I want to share is we've had a long journey in this company. We've seen everything. We've seen distributors come and go because they basically lose their dream, I want to say. And that's unfortunate because the potential's there. Everybody we know needs our products in some way or another. Everybody could benefit from having $100 extra in their bank account at the end of the month. As a single mother with 2 small children, that would have made a big difference in my life, because working as I did, I was a manager, so I was on salary. I couldn't work extra hours to make more money, okay? Because I was on salary, all right? What I did do is I baked my carrot bread and my banana bread and my cookies, and my mom took them and sold them at her work. She would come in the morning, I would bake at night, and she would come in the morning, pick up, you know, my cookies or my cakes or whatever, and then she'd sell them. And she'd sell the portions for $1. And I really, if you do the math, I didn't make any money. It was my time, my ingredients, and they were like good ingredients. I used real butter, I used real bananas, I used real carrots. That stuff's pricey, and if you really do the math. But you know, that was my way of making an extra $100 a month. And right now, my son always tells me, you should open an Etsy store. Because, you know, one way that I like relaxing is I make jewelry, okay? I make jewelry.
She makes very pretty jewelry.
So, I mean, to me, it's easy because it's just stuff I make, you know? I like making it out of crystal, real crystal. And again, that's quite pricey. It costs me to make a set of earrings. It costs me probably $60. Okay, wholesale, my price, because I have to buy three different sizes of the beads. My point is, okay, this business, just by telling people about your products, lotion, okay, who doesn't need lotion? Who doesn't need vitamins? Who doesn't need an immune molecule? Okay, just by telling people about that, you could easily make $500 a month, okay? That's easy, okay? And you could do your baking, you could do your art, you could do whatever you want because you want to do it, not because you have to do it. So my point is, tell everyone about it, okay? People at church, people at the gym, people at the grocery store, people that you see frequently at work, you know, share your products, you know, hey, would you like some lotion? Would you like some energy? I brought some extra energy in my, would you like a probiotic? Would you like some, gosh, I'm taking this product and oh my gosh, I haven't gotten a cold in a year. You know, just tell people what you experience with the product. And believe me, before long, you know, use your app, send them a link, and they'll be buying it. You know, we talk a lot about The Woman King, the movie, because we love the movie, first of all. But sweetie, how long did it take Gabby to basically, she loved the product, by the way, in the beginning, but how long did it take?
It took a few years, actually, for her to finally get to a point where she started really getting people involved in using the products. I mean, she had some people she trained, but we're talking the higher up people, you know, people at Sony. You've got producers now using the products, actors using the product. Like I said, This morning, she got 2 people in the United Kingdom that are actresses that are asking her for the products. So, but yeah, it was the relationship development. So in fact, we got Air Supply coming into town on Friday. We're going to go see their concert for free.
Yeah, so we're probably going to have to take them some product, and we give it to them because, you know, obviously they remember us, and they they love the energy and the protein. They love it because obviously when you're doing a concert, you know, it does make a difference. I know it does make a difference for me when I take the energy. I get so energy without that crash effect that you get moody. I've taken pills before that I get energy, but I get sweaty. I get like, oh my gosh, I feel anxiety with our product or energy. I don't feel that way.
Hey,
And
sweetie, we do have a question here that's come in. So they go ahead, and then I'm going to jump in and answer the question.
okay. So my point is share the opportunity, share the products. Again, I'm a product person. Dave is the opportunity and product as well. So also, I just wanted to remind you, we are taking recipe submissions. The recipe digital book will not be ready for the Foundation for Life until after convention, okay? But please, if you have a recipe, if you can make it and take a picture of it and submit it with your recipe, that would be great. And you, again, send it to Jenna Lisenby, Jenna L at forlife.com.
You put that in the chat. That's Dave. That's the Lisenby's daughter.
Yes, she's a foundation chairperson. But I mean, the foundation is basically 100% of the proceeds go to the foundation. And if you can contribute, you know, $1, $5, $10 a month, or buy the Fortify product for the foundation, that would be great. Right now, because there's a huge hurricane that hit Florida, we are more than likely going to send water, just little packets to those people that are in need in that area of Florida. But I mean, we're basically, the foundation works through charities that you know, are in need of our Fortify and our just basically the help they require in order to at least have some dignity through those trying times. So with that, I'm going to pass it over to Dave again. Thank you again for being here, and please bring more people on these calls because, you know, it's what we do. We share the opportunity, and it's like a mini seminar. Okay, sweetie, thank you.
Thank you. You know, Gabby mentioned some of the charity real quick. David Lisenby has now become one of the top philanthropists in the state of Utah in the United States. Over the years, For Life has done so much with their Foundation for Life charities. And I honestly have, in fact, J. Michael Smith, I think J. Michael's one year that one of the reasons he joined For Life is when he saw what we were doing with the Fortify. J. Michael's done a lot of work in Ethiopia, you know, with children with needs. You know, there's poor people around the world, and For Life's foundation has fed I forget how many million people now, but it's many millions of people they fed with the Fortify through the Foundation for Life. They've built schools, they've built orphanages. During hurricanes, For Life has shipped over plane loads of supplies and food. We've built bicycles for children that didn't have a way to get to school, all kinds of things. So anyhow, I just wanted to mention that. If you're ever curious to see, just go to foundationforlife.org. Maybe Claudia, you can put it in the text, foundationforlife.org, and you can see the Foundation for Life. So Ruth, thank you for asking this question here. Ruth said, basically, please go over the point you made about holding teaching sessions with both those you have signed up and prospects. Also, where's a great place to learn specific details about the products? Okay, let me talk first about the products, because when you're going to hold teaching sessions, knowledge creates confidence. In other words, you have to know what you're talking about. You can get people together and just jump up and down and do a lot of rah, 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 rah. I call it helium. I'm sure in Kenya, you guys have helium. You fill up a balloon for a party, put the helium in it, it goes up. But what happens when the helium wears off? It comes back down. I also call it steak and sizzle. You ever been to a restaurant where they're bringing out that meat, that steak or whatever it is you order, and you hear it going tss, and your mouth starts watering because your taste buds are bouncing around. You can't wait to sink your teeth into it. That's the excitement. That's the sizzle. The steak is what nourishes you, though. The steak is what you need in order to survive. So, same way in this business, there's enthusiasm, which is important, but then there's also the information, the content. Well, For Life, in my 41 years, I've never seen a company that provides more content to learn than For Life does. So, to answer the question on the products, Ruth, one place, of course, is your For Life app. Make sure you have the For Life app. If you go to the app and you click on, I'm going to just show you here real quick. You should be able to see up here, you've got the lines, the 3 lines. That's your menu. Click on those 3 lines and your menu pops open, and that's what it looks like. At the bottom of the menu, you will see that there's a media library. You see menu, media library right there at the bottom. Click on media library and you can select products to learn. They all have a profile. So my suggestion would be, when it comes to product knowledge, pick a product every day if you can, and read it, learn it, memorize the bullet points. What's it good for? That's good for the cardiovascular system. It actually helps to deliver, it not only increases your heart's potential to pump blood, but one of the things that I like about our cardio product, I've had a problem growing through the years where my hands and feet can tend to go numb on me. Cardio has taken care of that, transfer factor cardio. I have much better blood circulation using our transfer factor cardio. So it increases blood circulation. It also helps decrease or eliminate, actually, arterial plaque. So you learn that about the product by reading about it. Okay, that's one way. I love our transfer factor gold, the new gold product. There's no better anti-aging. When I'm talking anti-aging, I'm literally talking, there's a scientific way now to slow down the aging process through ionized molecular structured gold particles. All right. So our transfer factor gold factor, I'm not For Life gold factor, not transfer factor, gold factor, that helps slow down the aging process. All these things you can learn by reading the material within the app is one way. The other way, YouTube. For Life does have a YouTube channel. Let me see real quick if I can share it with you all here. I'm opening up my YouTube. If you go there on YouTube, and I'm sure you'll have the YouTube app, and it's For Life USA, or For Life US sales team, I believe it is. Let me just share with you here real quick. I'm going to share my screen now. I just Googled this in real quick. Share screen. I put For Life, and this is what I got. US sales team, TF cardio. Look, there you go. There you go. Right here. Look, Dr. Brent Vaughn. All right. 12 days ago, he did this, you guys. 12 days ago. So you want to learn about that? And subscribe to it.
Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Hope you guys are having a great week. This is an awesome week, you guys.
Vitamins, minerals, and we'll go through all of those in a little bit of detail here in just a minute. But let's take a few minutes to kind of talk about heart and circulatory health first. So your heart, as you all probably very well, minutes in here that can sometimes be a little bit bothersome for some people. The ginger helps to kind of soothe.
So he'll go, let me stop it. He'll go through all of the ingredients of our product. He'll explain the benefits of it, the functionality of it. So subscribe to the various, there's probably 3 or 4 For Life YouTube channels you can subscribe to, but subscribe to For Life US sales team. That's a good one. All right. And also follow the For Life US sales team on Facebook. So there you go. Facebook, YouTube, your app, great places. You can, again, there's so much out there, Ruth, that you can get lost, in spending so much time. Just, it can actually cause analysis paralysis. All right. You don't want to get paralyzed. So as you learn about a product, talk to people about that one product. We have a famous football player here in the US. His name's Manny Ramirez, American football, play for the Denver Broncos. Him and his wife share the products, and they pick like 4 products that are their favorites. They're always sharing those products with people. They don't consider themselves nutritionists or doctors or anything. They let the people that want to know about the other products learn about them. They focus on their favorite products. Okay. That's another way of doing it. Now, about your holding teaching sessions. Over there in Kenya, you guys are always having meetings, events. Dr. Ojina has his health talk, where you get to listen to a doctor, talking about, like Dr. Vaughn does, about maybe a system of the body, whether it's cardiovascular, nervous, brain health, reproductive health, all those things, lung. So there's all kinds of meetings or sessions going on. But with you, Ruth, and if it's the same Ruth, I believe that we've talked about, mentioning you have networking experience from GNLD or Neolife, so you understand the business model a bit. You know what needs to be done. I feel personally, just declaring yourself a leader. I understand that there's this tug of war, if you will, you and the other people out there, because they resist a lot. Okay, so you got this resistance of people. They may be saying, that's not going to work, Ruth. All right, you ain't rich now. You're not going to get rich with For Life, or for whatever reason. All right, they resist, and they even are negative. Okay, do not let the negativity bother you. All right, you don't think I went through that? And I still go through it today when I'm doing presentations with some of my people. I get negative people, and they don't know whether I guess I get introduced as a platinum or whatever, and that might be flattering, but it doesn't matter to them. Honestly, whether you're an intergalactic diamond or you're just starting, that's a new person. What's more important is them, their needs, them. And so don't let that resistance, convince you can't do it. That's where the leadership comes in again. You have to be strong, all right? Meaning that you just have to trust that there's a lot of people out there that are interested in changing their life. They are interested in better health. They are interested in financial independence. They are interested in living a life of abundance as opposed to a life of survival. There are people out there that are interested in that. So we just have to find them. And then the good leadership comes in where you become a better influencer. Now, I understand, as you work your way up the pay plan, get to builder, then get to diamond, and then get to presidential. And pretty soon people see, like when Fiona won the double builder bonus and got $1,600. That's a heck of a testimony. The company just paid you, or paid Fiona, $1,600, and that's aside from her normal check, aside from it. Okay. Well, that bonus came from sales all over the world. Not many companies pay their employees on world sales. All right. So the point is this: a good leader, you're influencing others by bringing these things out, by saying, look at what's happening over here. In fact, in Brazil, someone who's actually underneath Anderson, his name's Ailton, he got on YouTube, and just because he got his diamond certificate, he got on YouTube and he said, does your company do this for you? Does your company send you? And he's talking about people that have a job. And he opened up his certificate and showed it to everyone. All right. Where it said his name, Diamond, For Life Diamond. That's important. So, and I don't want to get off on a tangent, and I know we need to finish the call, but when it comes to these teaching sessions, Ruth, you can give them. Participate, obviously, learn from the people, but as you build your team, go ahead and step in and participate with the all of Kenya, and even on ours. We do all the time. We do. I know Mentor Monday, the first Monday of every month is me. That's kind of my role. But if someone were to say, hey, Dave, I'd like to pitch in and participate with you on Mentor Monday, game on. Let's do it. Let's have fun. All right. I'd love, if anybody wants to jump in and say, let's talk about this. And if you want to play a part of my Mentor Monday that I do and take 5 minutes, 10 minutes, feel free. Just message me and we'll do it together. All right. But I would encourage all of you, the people that you sponsor, be a good leader to them. So you set aside your sessions, even if it's 3 or 4 of you. And again, and I'll say this and we'll close. Ruth, this is the part of solidifying your business. My 4 steps in my business plan are prepare, prospect, identify. Identify means you identify your audience and your downline who wants to do this, who's ready to do this, and you work with them. All right. In other words, you work with the people that deserve your time, not just people that need your time. Everyone's going to need more money. Who deserves it as you grow your business? But the 4th step, when it comes to these sessions and teaching and so forth, I call it solidify, because there's more going on than just educating someone. When you get together with your downline, even if it's 2 or 3 or 4 or 1 person, you sponsor that first person. Jeff and I did this. Jeff Altgilbers, the day I sponsored him, we said, let's do 90 days of massive action, Jeff. Him and I for 90 days, it was 8 to faint without stopping. And we made a game out of it. How many people did you talk to today, Jeff? Now he talked to maybe 7 or 8. I talked to 10. Next day, I talked to 7 or 8. He talked to 12, and we were just playing this game. Team up with someone, all right? But what's going on aside from just the teaching session? The bonding, that's the solidifying of your team, your organization. And in the end, and this is the honest truth of this business, the relationships that you develop, the friendships you make, the people that you care about and you love, that's the cement that holds it all together, because there will always be another company out there that will come and try to take people. And that's why it's important for us to continue to work together, to be together as a team. All right. If you think about it in life, anyone, I guess, that picks out a mate, whether you're a man or a woman, of the billions of people out there, you choose one. All right. Well, I look at this business the same way. I tell people, find your home. I hope and pray that For Life is your home. If it's your home, you're here. Let's go. This is your home. All right. You now do what we're doing. You do the sessions as well with your people. If it's 1, 5, 20, 100, but I would encourage everyone to do that, even if it's just you getting together once a month with your people and having a cup of coffee, having a sandwich. And by the way, I see how you guys have in Kenya going on now, getting together, having dinner, eating together, all of that bonding that's going on. Great way to learn as well. So thanks, you guys. It's 1:15, so we're done for today. I appreciate y'all joining. Thank you. And keep going, keep growing. Let's unmute the microphones, Ruth. I hope I was able to answer your question on that one, but a lot of places for you to learn. Thanks, Claudia, as always, for participating. And I'm going to ask everyone here to unmute themselves. And let's all make a little bit of noise. And let's get out and let's talk to some people.
Okay.
All right?
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you.
Have a great week, everyone.
Congratulations.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Gabi.
you.
Thank you, Dave.
Good night.
Thank you, Dave.
And God
Thank you.
Come on. We are together.
Bye bye.
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 Tomorrow, health talk with Dr. Adina. Don't forget to check Dave's calendar. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Claudia.
Thank you,